I could share a story with you guys. I could share a story I've never told, but I have a big secret about By Release that no one knows about. It caused me to change the way I operate my entire computer system because of it. In my Song of the Elves video, I went over a year without posting a By Release episode from 45 to 46 because it was Song of the Elves. It was this big pressure to make like the biggest quest in the game, biggest episode ever, and I was burnt out on life. I was burnt out on RuneScape. It took forever to get there. Finally, grinded all the requirements. I finally got 70, everything I needed. It was done. I was ready to do the quest. So I'm like super zoned in. Like I'm focused up. I make a new folder on my desktop. You know, By Release, Song of the Elves. I start recording. The recording's going great. I had funny, like authentic interactions happen like as I'm doing the quest, like really funny things that like random ass dudes came across. It was great. I was so happy with the recording. And I have a thing on my computer called Sizer, which essentially lets me set the exact dimension, the exact pixel dimension of every window I have. So right now I have the exact dimension of this screen set to a preset, so I can press it and it's good to go. It's the same size as I left it. Nothing changes. The Sizer command, the default command is Control-Alt-Z. I don't know why that's the default, but that's what it is. Now, if you, for some reason, forget that middle one, you suddenly hit Control-Z. Now, since I'm clicking on Windows, like the window thing first, I had my desktop clicked instead of a window. So I pressed Control-Z while it was on my desktop, and the very last thing I did was create the folder that I was recording into. So it was not a right-click delete, it was an undo, which is a whole lot more complex than I thought it was when it comes to deleting an entire folder. And it did not go into the recycle bin. When you undo it, that is not a recycled thing. The Control-Y redo, I tried. It did not work because I panicked, and I think I created a bunch of other things. Like I was messing with things, trying a whole bunch of other solutions first, and I didn't know to do the Control-Y thing. But even then, if I did do that, I actually during my research, someone had did something very similar, and the videos were all corrupt when it redid because it had deleted the actual like encoding of it and then tried to rewrite it, and when you do that, it fucks it up. So even if I did Control-Y, the encoding of the video would have probably been corrupted. Yeah, it's a terrible, unique mess up. So I had gotten all the way, I was about to enter the light puzzle. And that's where I was in Song of the Elves. And that was that's a good chunk. In the Song of the Elves video, I think I start Song of the Elves about 30 minutes in, and I go into the light puzzle in like the 50 to 55 mark. So it's about like 25 minutes of cut footage, which is probably about 2 hours of footage. So I lost 2 hours of footage doing steps in the quest. I mean, we're talking about like the whole, the King Rald being hung in Ardoyne, the castle being on fire, everyone, fighting outside West Ardoyne, everything gone. And I had B-roll there. I had like authentic interactions with other players doing the quest. Everything was gone. So in that Song of the Elves episode at the very end, in the credits, I have a title screen there saying thank you to Sofa for saving this entire episode, because he had an account he didn't really play, and I was able to go on that account and redo everything I just did. So all the way up until the light puzzle is not By Release. That is Sofa's account, and I have it name changed to By Release. And I have everything changed, all the HP, everything, to what I needed it to be changed to. So that was the second time I did Song of the Elves, and I had to redo the entire thing on a different account and just pretend like I was doing it for the first time because I lost everything. After that, like before I went into the light puzzle, I was able to pick back up on buy release. But that fucking sucked. I paid for like 3 different services to try and recover it first, so I didn't have to do that, and all of it failed. It was like a done and done thing that on the hard drive, it was fucked. So I couldn't do it. I couldn't recover the footage. So I had to do something. So that's what I did. Sofa's account did Song of the Elves. You watched me on Sofa's account through half of Song of the Elves. It's not a big deal, but I think it's a very goofy situation. I was devastated at the time, but looking back on it, it's like, I'm glad I was able to make it work, because that was like the most important video I had ever made, and I was super stressed about it. Holy shit, dude. That was a nightmare. Why am I not attacking the fucking frog? Andrew Gower, please change this. Please make me attack the fucking frog.